Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 4th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that as of right now, we do know that they have a lot of planning in the works in order for the new Star Wars trilogy to really be at the top of its game, and as well as the new Star Wars universe to really present itself as something far larger and more successful than the old expanded universe from the 1990s and the early 2000s. Now, it's pretty much apparent that at this point in time, Disney's really in a phase of desperation in order to really regain the lost fans from the sequel trilogy movies. If we take a look at The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, there's a lot of upset fans because of how those movies were really made. You know, number one, Rian Johnson really created the divide between many Star Wars fans around the world, and number two, The Rise of Skywalker was a very messy production. There was a lot of scenes that was actually deleted because of Kathleen Kennedy interrupting with the actual creative end of the movie, really taking out a lot of scenes that both, George Lucas, J.J. Abrams, and Chris Terrio worked on, and really gave the fans a far different design of the film than what we would have ever gotten if Kathleen Kennedy did not actually intervene. So that's the thing as of right now, is that they're focused primarily on this new Star Wars universe that's really going to combine books, novels, comics, movies, video games, TV shows, the list goes on. And what's really interesting about all of this is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's explained that currently the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, has been developing many plans in order to reunite the fans around the world, and to create a better future for the Star Wars brand itself, where it's noted that currently one of the major plans that Bob Chapek has in store, that he is allowing George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau to take control of, is a new story for the new Star Wars universe to resurrect the character of Luke Skywalker in this new expanded universe, where the story is set to take place sometime after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, and that they plan to bring back Luke Skywalker back to life temporarily in order to have Luke help Rey rebuild the Jedi Order. Now, it's noted that this is also said to provide a brand new design for the character of Luke Skywalker, where Luke will have a significant redesign once he is brought back to life sometime in 2021 next year. It's explained that George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau are currently hard at work on developing the structure of the story that will be told in books, novels, comics, and even the planned Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will be released sometime in 2023. Now, it's noted that also Disney wants to unveil this plan to actually be released to the public at Star Wars Celebration sometime in August, when they get to show off their future projects currently in the works in order to create a new future for the Star Wars brand. This plan by Disney is to save the character of Luke Skywalker for the fans that did not enjoy Luke getting killed off in The Last Jedi, and that the power used to bring Luke back will have to do with the power of the Wills, who are godlike beings of the Star Wars universe. So what's really interesting about all of this is that we can see that Disney is really trying to really regain a lot of the fans that had issues with exactly how Luke was portrayed in specifically The Last Jedi, right? That was the main movie that a lot of fans, including myself, had issues with. And the main reason is because, well, it didn't necessarily match up with how Luke was used in the original trilogy or even in the old expanded universe, right? So when we examine what J.J. Abrams tried to do, he tried to give us a more positive version of Luke in The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, granted, yes, he was only a Force ghost and he was dead, but J.J. Abrams tried to give us an alternative version of Luke Skywalker, right? An alternate version of Luke where he was more positive, and a lot of those scenes were filmed and deleted, where only a couple of scenes made its way through into the final cut of the movie of Luke in the form of a flashback and Luke's Force Ghost sequences. That's exactly why Chapek wants to unveil the JJ cut as well sometime in 2023. Now, this is a very interesting idea by Bob Chapek of really creating the idea of Luke coming back to life temporarily. Now, one thing that I do disagree with is the fact that he's only going to be coming back to life temporarily speaking, and one thing that I'm a little on edge about is the fact that they're going to be giving Luke Skywalker a complete redesign. Now, I'm not quite sure if he's going to look older or younger, but they do plan to give him a brand new design once he's brought back to life in, of course, this new Star Wars universe, where it's all going to take place sometime after the events of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, helping Rey rebuild the new Jedi Order. Now, will this story prove to be successful or not? That is a big question open on the table for discussion for sure, because a lot of fans have been very, I guess you could say, skeptical about exactly how the new expanded universe is going to be used by Disney and Lucasfilm, and also exactly how the fans are going to react to this all, and how successful it's really going to be by the new Disney CEO Bob Chapek, with, of course, George, John, and Dave at the helm of really taking control over the creative aspects of this new expanded universe. It's really going to feel far different than the old one. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.